Show.
God damn it. Why didn't you say so?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. It's Friday. It's wide open telephones on the Tom Leykis Show here at 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Dean on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Are you there, Dean? Let me try this button over here. Hello.
Oh, hey. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Dean.
So, I had a question about your rules and how they might be... Okay. Let me just say, I love your show. Listen all the time. But I feel... I want to get your take on abstinence. I know it's not a very popular topic among your demographic, and it's probably not what you're aiming for, but it seems as if your rules, which I follow, seem to be aiming more towards abstinence than to banging chicks on the cheap.
No, I'm not in favor of abstinence. I am in favor of banging chicks on your terms.
Okay, I agree. But I heard you talk the other day about, there was one caller who he was putting on a condom or whatever, or like, you're telling him the condoms, they slip, they rip, they break, they have an expiration date and you don't know, and you got to watch the chicks as they put the pill in their mouth. I mean, you can't really trust these chicks. Who wants to trust a chick with their future, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't, right? Well, I mean, wouldn't it be better to, instead of telling these guys to just bang as many chicks as they can, why don't you just tell them, and look, I'm not advocating abstinence. I love banging chicks. I'll put that out there right now. But doesn't it seem like that's maybe where this is all going? It seems like that's what your rules really are talking about.
No, it's not, because there are plenty of chicks giving it away. And you need to find them. There's no abstinence there.
Right, no, I'm not talking about the challenge or the chase or anything. I mean, like, anyone can really get laid if you try hard enough.
But I'm saying there's no abstinence. I'm not advocating abstinence in any way.
I know, but don't you think you probably should?
Why?
Because that's what your rules are. Like, look, you're
all I'm advising that men abstain from is relationships and marriage, not sex.
Right. Okay then. Well, I mean, if you're going to take care of your own future and not trust some female that, with your entire future, if you want to grow up and get that nice car and whatever and not crap out a bunch of kids, shouldn't you just, not bang a bunch of chicks?
Again, you should bang them with a condom. You should try to ascertain as much as possible whether they are using birth control or what their attitude is about abortion. That's what you should be doing.
Okay, but you said yourself that condoms slip, they rip. They
do, and that's why you need, it's a double-pronged approach. A, use condoms. B, at least give an attempt to find out if these girls are using birth control, or if they would have an abortion if they got pregnant. The reason I've made it to my age without having to pay child support is because I've never been shy about asking women, what would happen if you got pregnant?
Right.
And when they say, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't think I'd have a kid, when they say that, I'm out.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I had a friend of mine in Seattle. This girl lied to him straight in the face, looked at him in the face, and told him that a doctor said she can't get pregnant.
Well, that's why it takes, well, again, I never believe that one. When they say that, that's a lie.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, the thing is, you can't ever trust a chick, especially, with your entire future, right?
Right.
So why bang all these chicks? Not that I'm not for banging chicks.
Well, because I've banged all these chicks and I've never had a kid. And you know why? It's because I did due diligence.
Okay, due diligence. I can get into that. Okay, so I'm back on board. Damn straight.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. You do your due diligence. Hey. That's what you do, for God's sake. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Pedro on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Pedro.
Hey, Tom, my question's pretty simple. Oh, before anything, it's a pleasure to talk to you, sir. I've been listening to you. You speak nothing but the truth and the facts, and God bless you for that, even though I know you don't believe in him. But back to my question, when do you think the houses are going to hit rock bottom for the reason that I've been saving all my nickels and dimes so I could, go for the kill at the right moment in time. And
no one knows. You know what? You will never know the right moment. It's like stocks. You will never know the right moment. All you know is a general vicinity. And we are in that general vicinity this year.
Okay.
And that means maybe they'll go down again after you buy. But what does it matter? If you buy a house on my guidelines, and that is to live in forever.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if the value goes down this year and then up in 2 years. Doesn't matter, because you're going to live there forever. I own 2 houses.
Okay.
And people say to me, aren't you worried about what's happening in the real... No, because I'm not... You know who's going to sell these 2 houses? The guy who handles my will when I'm dead.
Oh.
That's his problem.
Yes.
So if you're not prepared to buy a house that you love in an area that you could live in forever, or at least 5 to 10 years, you shouldn't be buying a house.
I got you. Well, Tom, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you so much for that information. I'll keep that in mind. If you could please take me out Kurt Warner style, I'd appreciate it.
I absolutely can. Here you go.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello to Jose on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
How you doing, Father?
Great, son. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you. I was just wanted to make a comment. People are talking about the John Gruden getting fired from Tampa Bay.
Yes.
And, my big thing is I'm a big Dodger and baseball fan fanatic, and it just kind of get irritated with these Florida fans where even though I did root for Tampa Bay the past season, they're big fakes. They don't really carry their team along until they make the playoffs or the World Series, and that kind of sucks.
Well, keep in mind, most of the people who live in Florida didn't grow up in Florida. And so they don't have that kind of loyalty that you have when your dad went to the game with you and your grandfather went to the game with him. It's just not that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. You got a point there.
That's why Dallas fans are better than Tampa Bay fans or Miami fans, because there's more generations of people who've lived there.
Yeah, that's true. I just kind of had to give my little input. I just... Florida hater only because you only hear about them when they hit the playoffs, and that's about it.
Well, that's true of a lot of teams. I mean, what about Carolina Panthers?
That's true. Got a point. Like always, you always have a point, but I just, I guess I was just focusing locally, but not globally, and not really thinking about everybody else.
Well, I'm a big sports fan. I follow them all. I've got the dish. I've got every game played in North America, and many played in other countries.
True. Wow.
I mean, you know what? I don't watch the San Jose Earthquakes playing soccer. If I want to watch soccer, I watch Brazil, or I watch Manchester United on my satellite dish. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. If I want to watch, I'll watch rugby. I watch any team in the NFL on a given Sunday. I watch the best game. I don't watch the games that Channel 2 picks for me. I watch whatever I want.
That's true. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan. I watch the games. I watch the fans. I know what's going on. And I lived in Florida, and I can tell you very few people who live in Florida were born in Florida.
Right. I guess it just kind of irritates me when I see the playoff games come around. Baseball season comes around. And
you live in L.A. Have you lived in L.A. your whole life, Jose? Where did you grow up? Here, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I grew up in Bell Gardens, California. So I grew up in L.A. my whole life.
Bell Gardens. So I imagine that, are you a Dodger fan?
I'm a Q. My blood is blue, sir.
Okay. So your dad took you to Dodger Stadium, I imagine?
You are, like always, correct.
And if you don't have a kid yet, when you do, you'll take him to Dodger Stadium.
Definitely.
And that's why. Because it's a tradition.
Right.
And so, of course, you bleed Dodger blue because your dad took you to that game, and that's very powerful. But when you're in Florida, you grew up in, I don't know, New Jersey. Then you moved to Florida because you got a job offer. Then you're living in Tampa. You don't even know the name of the team. But you're like, okay, I live in Tampa. I'll root for the local team. So then when they stink, you're like, oh, this is terrible. They stink.
You know, and it is, but I also look at the poor Cubs. They're 100+ years, and but their fans are true, they're loyal, and you know, they're well known and they're respected for it. But when you get a Tampa Bay team and you get the Marlins, you know, when Gary Sheffield was back in the 90s, it's kind of hypocritical, if you ask me. Where
you know what's going to happen eventually? You'll have more people who have grown up in these places. And the people who are there now will take their kids to the game, and then those people will take their kids to the game. And then they're going to be bigger fans than they are today.
Right.
But can you really expect people to be strong fans of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Come on.
Well, no, not really.
No, and yet the Detroit Lions have fans, and they really stink.
Exactly, but at least you could respect that. They suck, and they still stick around.
But they stick around because their dad took him to the games, and his dad took him to the game, and it's a tradition.
Well, maybe in the future there might become something genuine fans, but
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They're the worst fans ever, I think.
No. There's way, way worse fans than that. There's way worse fans. I would tell you something. There's some really awful fans around. And by the way, I don't think that by not going to the games you're a bad fan. I think sometimes you're a good consumer. I mean, anybody who attends a Clippers game is a moron.
That's true. I actually got some free tickets, and I'm going to show up just for the hell of it. But, yes, you're right.
Most people who I know who get free tickets say, I don't know if I'm going to go.
Right. And it's just a simple way to get out of the house.
Oh, my God. I mean, the best reason to go to the game is so you don't have to listen to Ralph Lawler doing the game.
And there you go.
I'll say thank you very much for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. Wide open telephones at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. David on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going tonight?
Doing okay, David.
Hey, Tom. I just wanted to ask, with them building the stadium, or they got the plans up for the City of Industry, what team do you feel would best suit L.A. with all the talk of the NFL teams moving here?
Put it this way. You don't pick a team according to what their logo is, what color their uniform is, or... frankly, you know, all the teams that threaten to come will be all the teams that stink.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
But I think that LA just has a huge, I mean, like you were saying with, you know, Miami, a lot of people aren't from LA. You know, they moved here from other cities, so they already have other allegiance. I live in LA, and I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. So I think if we get an LA team, you know, yeah, I'd like to go to some football games where I don't have to drive to San Diego, but I'm still not going to really have an allegiance to the LA team. And I think a lot of fans in L.A. would probably kind of feel the same. It might take a while to get a big fan base for whatever team does come here.
Well, for one thing, I'd want to see an NFC team come. That I'd say for sure, because Los Angeles was an NFC city from 1960 to 1995.
Yeah.
And when the Raiders came in the early 80s, they were only here for a short time, and then they left.
Well, I mean, the L.A. team might be able to move back after Al Davis dies. I don't think he can be around much longer.
Well, the point is, you know, who knows who's going to own them at that point. I'm more concerned about who the owner is than anything else. But I would, you know, let's face it. There's a tradition of seeing the old school NFL teams playing here in Los Angeles. There's a tradition of seeing, as you recall, the 49ers, assuming they're still in San Francisco, because they want a stadium too, and it doesn't look like they're getting one.
Yeah.
And there's a tradition of seeing, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers when they were in the NFL. Certainly there was a tradition of that. The Chicago Bears. I mean, these are teams that L.A. fans have seen so many times going back all those years. I think we want to see an NFC team. Now, do we want to see the Minnesota Vikings or the New Orleans Saints or the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah.
I think it depends on who owns the team.
Yeah. I think with the Saints moving over, there'd be a big, fan base for the Saints just because Reggie Bush plays for him, even though I don't think Reggie Bush is all that great. I think there'd be a big fan base.
Would you want the current owner of the Saints, though, to come to L.A.? I would say no.
No, yeah. The way he's handled that team has just been ridiculous.
I mean, they've been a joke since they came into the league. And, they got Reggie Bush just because they were the worst team in the league. That's it.
Yeah.
So if the current ownership were going to sell to a local owner in Southern California and they were going to bring Reggie Bush to L.A., that would be very exciting. If the current owner of the New Orleans Saints were going to come and move in here, no interest. None.
All right, Tom, well, thank you for your time. Can you blow me up?
Yes, of course I will blow you up. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show, Super Bowl weekend. Hello.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
I had a question. We were talking to the other guy a few calls back regarding doing due diligence, and I just had a hypothetical. If you ever get to be with Selma Hayek or Penelope Cruz and you do your due diligence and they flat out tell you, Tom, I'm not on birth control, and if I get pregnant, I'm for sure keeping the baby. Are you willing to pass on Selma Hayek? Are you going to tell Selma, sweetheart, I'm out of here? Or are you going to make an exception and go for it? That's what I want to know.
That's a great moral dilemma.
Because in my case, I would hit it and quit it with Selma. There's no way I would say no to that. But,
yeah, but then would you pay for 18 years of child support in order to hit it and quit it?
See, that's the thing. Sometimes you got to take a risk, and I think a Selma Hayek or a Penelope is a risk you got to be willing to take, Tom.
Yeah, but again, 18 years. 18 years.
No, don't get me wrong. You got to be wearing a condom. That's a given. So you're about 90-some-odd% protected there.
216 months of payments.
I don't know, Tom. I mean, I'm no celebrity.
That was Selma, who's 42 years old. The odds of Down syndrome, too.
Yeah, she is older, though. But I don't know. I just, there's got to be an exception.
What if she cranks out a tard and you have to pay?
See, that's the thing. I don't think I'll ever even come close to a situation like that. You got a lot better shot than 99% of the people out there. And, I just wanted to throw it out and say, come on, Tom.
I put it this way. If I were drunk at a party and I had a shot at that, I'd probably do it and then the next day be scared to death that I made a mistake.
Yeah, that's, I give you that. I give you that. But then, you go home, you're like, oh, my God, Selma Hayek. That's just me. I don't know.
Right. But again, I just wouldn't want to have to pay.
I agree with you on that.
That is my biggest concern. You know what I'm saying? Sammy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
Not much.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the Raiders, and you said as soon as that other caller said as soon as Al Davis dies, but there's actually 4 other owners of the Raiders. He's only a small majority owner, and he's just a general managing partner. And,
right, but there's no guarantee that the minority partners would want to keep the team if Al Davis weren't there.
Yeah, I think they'd be better off in L.A., and they'd be a hell of a lot better off without Al Davis.
Well, they might be better off in L.A., but would we be better off with them?
I think so. I've been a long-time Raider fan since, like, 74, and I'm down with the Raiders. I loved them when they were in L.A., and I think they need to come back.
Well, I think, let's talk a little bit about the Raiders. I mean, they have stunk for a long time.
That's true. They have been terrible.
I mean, yeah. I mean, come on. They won that Super Bowl in 1980. Was it 85?
82.
82. So we're talking 27 years.
But, I mean, if you want to go off of futility, I mean, you've got, like, the Cleveland Browns. How long has it been since they've been around? So...
Well, hey, the Cleveland Browns are not the original Cleveland Browns. I will remind you the Baltimore Ravens have won the Super Bowl, and the Baltimore Ravens went to the NFC final. The AFC final against Pittsburgh.
Well, I think the Raiders' problem is Al Davis is too controlling, and if he was let loose with the Rays, I think they'd actually be a lot better team, and they'd be a lot better off not having him control.
Well, not necessarily. There's plenty of other lousy teams in the NFL who are not run by Al Davis, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, and as far as you think of an NFC team, I think Seattle would probably do all right down here.
Seattle has a state-of-the-art stadium. They're not going anywhere. They got a long lease, too.
Well, I just throwing out a name out there because you said you'd like to see it.
No, but the team. Look, you have to look realistically at who might move. Minnesota's got an old stadium they've been trying to get out of for years. And they've been threatening to move for years, trying to get some of the state legislature to move off the dime in Minnesota. New Orleans Saints are playing in the same stadium they played in since 1975 when they came into the league.
Saints are horrible.
But this is rarely based on whether the team is good or bad. It's based on whether you can get the local goobers to pay for a stadium.
You're 100% right, as always, Tom.
I mean, let's take a look at baseball for a second. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the majority owner at the time was a guy named Kevin McClatchy, who comes from the McClatchy newspaper publishing family. They said their team stunk because they needed a new stadium. They had no revenue. And the morons in Pittsburgh got together and voted to pay to build a stadium, PNC Park, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And once the Pirates moved in there, and they sold out of many games that first year, and a lot of people were curious about the ballpark, the Pittsburgh Pirates are as bad as ever. They didn't spend another dime on players. If there was any extra revenue, they just pocketed the revenue, and they said, screw you.
Exactly. Can't argue with that fact at all.
So, really, you know, it has nothing to do with whether a team is good or bad. In fact, bad teams frequently scare these municipalities into building them stadiums.
True. I'm just a longtime Raider fan. I live down here in the, in the Inland Empire. I'd love to see them where I could go and see them 4 or 5 times a year versus...
Well, you know where I'd love them to play, Sammy? I'd love them to play about a mile from your house. When a guy in the silver and black is peeing on your front lawn, I want you to enjoy the true joys of being a Raider fan.
Hey, like I said, Tom, I've been a Raider fan since '75, and he could pee on my lawn. We're all brothers, you know?
You say that now, but let's see when it happens.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Right! It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. You guys know I'm a lifelong hockey fan. And I know many of our listeners, especially here in Southern California, are hockey fans. And the vast majority of those, I would venture to say, are Kings fans. And it would not be a stretch to say the Los Angeles Kings have outperformed a lot of people's expectations this year. They have really, really played well, in my opinion, when you consider the youth of the team. The experience level of many of the players, they've played so well. It's been so much fun to watch the Kings this year. And I've got 2 of these guys in studio with me right now. With us in studio, we have Alexander Froloff and Rytis Ivanov of the Los Angeles Kings. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
You do a lot of these interviews?
No, first time.
First time?
Yeah, from you? No, never.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, Alex is the leading scorer in the Kings, and he has got, 20 goals by now? Who's counting?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. And, by the way, 20 goals in the NHL in a season is good, but doing it 5 years in a row is great. And you've done this, but I am amazed that you don't do a lot of radio interviews. We don't see a lot of you. Alex, why not?
I don't really speak English.
That would help. Yeah. And Rytis, tell us about you. You play a totally different role on the team. What is your role on the Kings?
Scary. Well, pretty much just look after the players and get the team going when it needs to be, and just play simple, crash the net.
And crash the people, and crash just about everything else out there.
All that stuff.
You suffered a real serious injury last year and just came right back like nothing. Was it last year?
Last year, yes. I broke my face in a few spots here.
I didn't even know you could break your face. So you could break your nose, or you could break your arm. You broke your face.
Broken cheekbone, yeah. That was by Rob Blake's slap shot.
Yeah, he was your teammate at the time.
Yes. It was an accident, and the puck hit right in the face, ricocheted from the stick, or yeah, I don't know, yeah. Anyway, broke my cheekbone and had a surgery, got all put up together. And
how many games did you miss?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't many.
No, it was a few games, just to get to the surgery, and right after I was fine. Put a half shield on and good to go.
Now that's tough. I mean, I want to ask the listener right now, if you broke your face, could you be back on the ice in 5 or 10 games? I doubt it. Could you even lace up the skates? Probably not. Raitis, where are you from?
Riga, Latvia.
Wow. Yeah. Can you tell listeners where that might be? Because I'm sure most Americans fail their geography test and don't know.
Latvia is right in the middle between Lithuania and Estonia, and it's across the sea from Sweden, and Russia is to east of it.
Okay. And how do you get from Latvia to the United States to play hockey? How'd that happen?
Oh, my road began when I was 17, so I've been in North America for 13 years, traveled, been in a lot of teams, a lot of states, Canada a couple of years, so just a long story.
They gave me a list of all the places you've been: Flint, Michigan, Macon, Georgia, Tulsa, Rockford, Illinois, Hamilton, Ontario.
Yeah.
Is that Toledo, Ohio?
Yeah.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge has hockey?
Oh, yeah, they used to. Not anymore, I don't think.
and so how long did it take you to go from playing in all these small towns to playing in the National Hockey League?
I think 3 years ago or 4 years. No, 3 years ago was my first game in National Hockey League.
Out of 12 years? So it took 9 years to get here?
Yeah. Yes.
You had to really want to make it to stay in it that long.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I kind of always knew I could and never kind of gave up, and just happened. Was in the right spot, right time, and, it worked out.
Now, Alex Frolov is Los Angeles' best-kept secret. The guy's a superstar hockey player. And, again, I'm amazed he is not on a big billboard in the Sunset Strip, and that he's not on The Tonight Show. It's a big deal. You're a big deal.
Thank you.
I'm just amazed how many people don't know that you've been doing this here for years. I mean, he won't tell you this. This man's a true star in the National Hockey League, and he comes in here like it's nothing, no big deal. Alex, tell us your story. How did you get to the Los Angeles Kings?
Well, it was easier, I guess, than Raitis.
You did not play in Baton Rouge?
No. I don't even know where is it. Be honest with
Louisiana, yes. I think Hurricane Katrina put that out of business, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was born in Moscow, and I played there till I was 20, and then came here, straight to LA. That's it.
Now, is that a big change for you? And Moscow's a big city, too, but is it a change for you?
Oh, yeah, it was a huge change for me at this point, because I didn't really speak. I still don't really speak English, but 6 years ago it was much not as good as I do right now, and it was no more Russian players in the team, and no family, and totally different culture. So it's been a lot of changes for me as a 20 years old kid, and a good thing it was like teammates was great to me, and tried to help me out, and it worked out.
Now, when you came to Los Angeles, I mean, in that condition, not speaking a lot of English and not being familiar with Southern California, how do you do the basic stuff like find a place to live or start a bank account or anything?
Hire somebody.
No. Wrong answer. No, actually, I had a couple of friends of mine. They're Russians, and they really helped me with all the things. I knew them from Moscow, and they were living here for 12 years when I came, so they knew all situation, and they helped me out a lot. And my agent did a lot of things for me. So.
And now you've adjusted. And do you enjoy living in L.A.? I know you do.
I do. You know that.
Yes, I do. And I also know that because we've shared at least one bottle of wine together, that you are a fan of good wine. Tell me about the wines you like.
I do like red wine and Cabernet Sauvignon, especially from... I do LA wines, like from Napa Valley. I think they're probably, in my opinion, one of the best in the world. And, well, it is no good Russian wine, so it's nothing to compare to.
And, Rightus, are you a wine drinker at all?
Yeah, I like wine, but...
What Alex is buying?
I'm buying, he's drinking.
Yeah. No, yeah, I enjoy wine, but I'm not a real expert like Fro here. But, yeah, I do like wine.
Let's talk a little bit about, because there's people listening who've never been to a hockey game. Now, where you guys come from, that's probably hard to believe that people still don't know about hockey, haven't been to a game. What are they missing?
A lot.
Yeah, well...
Rightus and ice.
for two right there.
I think hockey is, I mean, if you never played it, it's harder for people to know, but if you ever skated or whatever, it's tough sport, you know. You have to skate on the ice and handle the puck and shoot and hit, and it's just fun sport to watch, I think.
And it's, for people who don't understand it, I've talked to many, because we have a large Hispanic audience, and one way I have found that people of Hispanic descent learn to love hockey is the fact that it has similarities to soccer. It's just faster, with hard hitting and more scoring, and no David Beckham.
Well, we have Alexander Frolov.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Are you his agent now? What's the deal?
No, I'm just helping out.
Now, you're professional hockey players. This is your job. Is it still fun?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Why are you looking at me?
No, of course it's fun. I mean, times gets tough when, you know, you travel on the road and game here, game there, back to back, and then you come, you know, a lot of sleepless nights, well, at least for me. But yeah, it's fun. You enjoy it. You play to win, and so of course it's fun.
What do you guys do for fun when you're not playing hockey?
Drinking some wine.
That's good.
Well, summer is mostly golf for fun, but during the hockey season, not much time to do stuff. So, I don't know, go to movies, or Fro likes to drink wine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, not a lot of free time during the hockey season.
So have you gotten to enjoy anything about Southern California? Restaurants, Universal Studio beaches.
Oh yeah, my first year I tried to do all the fun stuff like Jay Leno and Universal Studios and just see everything. Santa Monica and
Disneyland.
No, I didn't go there. Beverly Hills, like all the fun stuff, and yeah, of course you have beach, so that's always cool, you know.
Do you live out near the beach?
Yeah, we live in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, well, a lot of athletes live in Manhattan Beach, and you get to be outdoors all the time, and it's fantastic. The South Bay is great.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. You have family come and they just love it. Everyone loves it here.
Now, a final question for both of you. A lot of people who have not seen a hockey game have not seen a hockey game because for a long time the Kings were having some hard times. We're not playing great. There were a lot of changes over the years, but the team now seems to have a direction. When can people expect to see the Kings in the playoffs? Is that going to happen?
Absolutely. And I hopefully this year, and as you said, we play much better, and I agree with you. Team playing much better, and we have a chance to make a playoffs, which was like 6 points behind, I believe, and half of the season left, and we're gonna do our best to make it.
Yeah, things are turning around, and you know, with a lot of younger players, and you know, everyone's clicking better, and everything's just kind of going that right direction. So hopefully this year, you know, we're on that spot right now in the middle. So yeah, hopefully this year, but I think things are going the right way.
It's great. Well, I hope people go out and see you guys play at Staples Center. The Los Angeles Kings have been very exciting this year. It's a whole different game that they're playing, and they are having a lot more success at it, and they have one of the youngest teams in the National Hockey League, and to see these guys getting more experience and to see them moving up the ladder, it's very exciting. I'm a big fan. I've been a Kings fan for over 21 years, and for people who haven't done it, I recommend that you do. Guys, guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alexander Froloff and Ryder Stevenons of the Los Angeles Kings.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. Ask for it by name. With wide open telephones on this Friday, Super Bowl Sunday weekend, 1-800-5800-TOM. And don't forget our Saturday show tomorrow from 2 until 6. 2 until 6. Alex on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, how you doing, Tom?
Doing okay, Alex.
Hey, I live in the city industry. I was listening to your show. I mean, I'm a big fan. About a year, 17 months I've been listening to it. You know, I got a name for you. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people call you. I call you the professor to my friends.
Love that.
And the professor, yeah, because you hit everything right on the tip of the nose, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Okay, now, the city industry, where do they have this vote or whatever? Because I live in the city industry, and it is... it is jam-packed, and it is, there's no room. What part of the city industry are they talking about?
It's going to be at the intersection of the 60 and the 57 freeways, I believe.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, because, that'll be Diamond Bar. Yeah, that's a nicer area, yeah, because where I live, it's gang-infested. I live about a mile away from the industry sheriff department. Yeah, over there, they got zero tolerance, and, because it's a nice neighborhood, so that's why I was wondering where. But there's mountains over there. Where would it,
I think the plan is, how Dodger Stadium is built into a hill?
Yes.
If you look at the plan for the stadium, that's what they plan to do. In addition to making that a good earthquake option, it saves them on construction costs because you don't have to have an exterior of the stadium in the parts that are built into the hill.
Yeah, because where I live, it's like, I was just wondering where, that's a nice area, then it'll be worth it. But I don't know if you ever been down this way.
Oh, many times.
Oh, many times. Oh, so, okay, yeah. Well, on the 57, it'll just triple the traffic come day game if they ever do,
Yeah, but of course there'll be there'll be 10 game days a year.
Yeah, well, each game right now as it is, I'm taking the surface streets to my house because, I had to take them from the 57, take the surface streets because the 57 north and south is crowded, the 60 is crowded, the east and west. You know what I mean? The 10 is even worse because it's Friday. So I was just curious. Well, Tom, thanks for your time. And Diamond Bar is a nice place to build it. I don't know why they want to do it way over here, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, could you blow me up old school? Because I come from the old school, Tom.
Yes, of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Here's Dove on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yes, thanks for taking the call. I need your help, man.
Sure.
Going to Solvang Valentine's Day weekend, taking the girlfriend. I am an idiot with wine, totally new to it, want to do some tastings. How do I look cool?
Well, first of all, try to learn a little bit about the wineries you might go to. And the way you do that is you go to a website like winespectator.com.
Okay.
And now that's a paid site, but there's free areas where you can look up the wines of the San Ynez Valley.
Okay.
Find out which ones are the highest rated. Try to schedule a tasting at those places.
Okay.
They have a database on there where you can figure out which winery has the highest scored wines. And you might want to figure out where those places are and see which one of them will allow you to come in and taste.
All right.
Very
cool.
When you stay in Solvang, you'll probably be tasting wine in places like Lompoc.
Yep.
And probably downtown Los Olivos. And then, of course, out on Fox and Canyon Road, which is also Los Olivos. That's the road you saw in the movie Sideways.
Yeah, that's right. I was reading that on the Solvang website.
Yeah, Foxen, by the way, is the furthest winery out. It's about 14 miles out Foxen Canyon Road. But that wine is killer. I would recommend you they close at 4, so don't leave too late. But don't miss that winery if you get the chance. The wine is fantastic.
You said Foxen, like Foxen?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. WineSpectator.com and Foxen. That is awesome. Really quick, before I go, man, I got satellite radio recently. I'm paying quite a deal for it. But every day, man, I'm still turning you on. You're the best.
Thank you so much for that, Dove. I appreciate the call.
You got it. Take care.
You too. Here's Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's up, buddy?
Not much, Ryan.
Hey, I'm a huge Kings fan, and, just like you think, I think the Kings are, they're promising. We've had 7 years of disappointment, and I think it's time that, we've really taken that next step, and I do believe the Kings are going to make the playoffs this year, but that road trip that they have, 3 of them actually, to end the season, brutal.
Well, Patrick O'Sullivan said to me, he plays for the Kings, of course, number 12 for the Kings, a defensive forward, and I talked to Patrick, and here's what he told me. He said, we're a young team, and we prefer to play on the road, because as young guys, we like to go out and play at night. We like to have some fun. And so we actually enjoy playing on the road when we don't have our friends and our families getting in our face for tickets, and when they're on the road, they could just go out and have some fun.
Yeah, well, I just hope that, they play Montreal tomorrow, and that's going to be the start of that East Coast swing, and I think that they've got a good shot as long as that goalie, John Quick, unreal, and I think he and Bernier are the 2 guys for the future.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Those are the 2 goalies the Kings are depending on for the future, although Eric Erisberg has been doing a very good job for the Kings. And they played a great game against the Chicago Blackhawks last night.
Yeah. And that was, that's the one thing I like about Patrick O'Sullivan. He's that guy that can really turn a game around. He had that 2-on-1 and, that shot. He couldn't have placed it better. I think that, there's only good things to come. And, if you would, take me out Kobe style.
There you go, Brian.
This is about us. She's so special to me. It beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
I want to wish the best of luck to our good friend Bob Moore, our general manager for most of the time we've been on 97.1 FM Talk, who left us today and will be heading to hopefully greener pastures. Thank you, Bob.
The Tom Leykis Show.